Business can be a lonely game, but it doesn't have to be. Welcome to Boutique Chat, where we explore community over competition and how to scale your company with the balance and the happiness that we all seek. We'll hear from product-based businesses of all types, retailers, e-commerce, and wholesale brands, along with industry experts shaping the future of our industry. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast this week. You're going to hear from two girls who have head colds in today's conversation.
Yeah, terrible.
So if we both sound a little nasally, well, guess what? That's life. So this is going to be a real, raw, authentic, here's where we're at conversation. And I'm so looking forward to it. Erica, it's so nice to have you here. I'm so lucky.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be in this vantage point of getting to, get to know you on a better level this year and watch your business grow from the inside out as a part of our mastermind program. So first things first, you're a Dakota girl. I'm a Dakota girl. So much love.
Yes.
So much we can relate on. Tell us about your business and how you got started and where you're at.
Yeah. So, hey guys, my name is Erica. I love to always start out and say I'm a nurse who started a hospice nurse. I don't do CPR. I keep you comfortable as you but I started this, out of the basement of my house back in 2018 for fun. I have two daughters. They were both born in May, so they're 11 months apart. I needed something fun to do. I had a lot to do. But no, I'm originally from Southern California. I was born and raised out there. I moved to South Dakota when I was almost 21 years old.
That's a bit of a shock. We have to pause there. You came from California to South Dakota. Typically it is the reverse.
Yes. Yeah. Actually my dad is from Hardington, which is a super small town in Nebraska. It's 25 miles. It's not minutes out here. It's miles. In California, minutes. Okay. But yeah, I couldn't get into nursing school out of college. Out of high school back in 2010. And I wanted to be a nurse so bad.
Yeah.
I tried all these things. And my uncle was sent me an email. You can move to South Dakota. I was yeah, right. Anyway, I ended up here and we're a Walmart town. Yeah. It's Walmart and coming, I was born in LA County. So you have Targets, 5 Targets on every corner. And anyway, when I came here, I remember in college, one of the girls was you want to go to Targets in Sioux Falls? It's an hour and blah, blah away. I'm what? An hour away to go to Target? For real? So, yeah, whatever. I made it through college. I had my daughters. I started this, I think there was maybe one boutique at the time in the whole town. So yeah, Walmart town. And I was just what the hell? I'm going to start a store. Yeah. So I remember Googling, I think it was Orange Shine, if that was the fashion go of the time. Do you remember that? And I created an account, whatever. I ordered really bad clothes. It was bad. But yeah. And I started off as lives after my hospice shift. I would do lives at night and it really started to take off. And I remember we had a nanny at home for our 2 little girls at the time. In 2018, they would have been oh my gosh, 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Yeah. And so we hired someone to come to the house and watch them because daycare and all this. And community women were coming and knocking on my door to shop. And the nanny would call me. She's oh my gosh, so-and-so's here and she wants to come in the basement. I'm oh my God. Okay. I have $300 of inventory at the time. Yes, let her go in the basement. It was crazy. And so I trusted a lot of people, to come in. They would send me pictures of what they took. I would invoice them in between my patients. Yeah. I kind of moved jobs around. I would host open shop hours on weekends. It just grew. So in 2019, I quit my job and everybody was what are you doing? Even my nursing peers laughed, you're quitting your career and you're going to start a store. And I was yeah, I am. Yeah. So we quickly grew out of that. That was in October of 2019. We quickly grew out of, I just leased a little building in our town. And then like 5 days before COVID happened, I bought my building. So
Oh, good timing.
yeah, like yeah, we grew out of our little tiny lease, and I remember it was like February 28th, 2020, I signed on the loan of like my store loan, and then boom, COVID. So I was able to work through that with being an RN. I picked up a lot of my shifts, but in South Dakota we really didn't shut
You
down.
were
We
pretty
we were
isolated yet.
absolutely, we had like everybody from the world coming to South Dakota. It was insane
Yeah.
because we were open. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started, and a little
Yeah.
just to that. It's crazy. Like, I feel like I was always meant to be a nurse, but I just feel like I come from a long line of entrepreneurs in my family. Like, my grandpa had a ginormous like landscaping business in Orange County. Like, they landscaped John Wayne Airport in
Oh,
Orange County.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa, he did pass away, but his brother, and I have another uncle who has a ginormous warehouse in Hardington, Nebraska, of like some slipper business that he started when I was just a little girl. So, like, I always felt like I was meant to be a nurse, but I always feel like I was supposed to be a business owner too. Like, it just, everyone says that. They're like, oh, you're an ICOF. It just runs in your blood, like out here because it's so small.
Yeah.
This one, but yeah,
The two things have a lot in common, right? If you think about what it takes to be a successful retailer, you're really just like hearing people out and solving their problems. You're serving their
right.
needs. And it's much
Yeah,
like being a nurse, right? And that amazing, especially a hospice nurse. Like, God bless, because I've
yeah,
had hospice nurses, in my own home growing up with my dad when he passed away. And what a blessing hospice
yeah.
nurses
It
are.
like I was talking to someone the other day, and I'm like, if I ever went back to full-time nursing, it would be hospice for
Yeah, it's
sure. Like,
incredible.
it just those connections that you make, and like you see like I still see the families around town, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like that was such like a vulnerable time. And like just me being able to like educate the family and just comfort them is like, yes,
What
yeah,
what is really neat about that is you mentioned vulnerability, right? And how vulnerable the family is with you, but you are with them in return. And
yeah,
watching you from the outside, it seems like that's a skill that you've carried with you into owning your business. And the vulnerability that you have with your customers in person, but also in your online marketing, seems to be something that's really helped you grow and excel along the way. Talk to me about how
yeah.
that vulnerability plays out. How do you use it? What do your customers say about it? How can other people replicate it in their business?
Yeah. So I definitely say, like, when I think about like what's my power? Like, why am I so good at this or that or whatever it is? Like, I literally have been told from day one, like, even like, okay, I was always taught, like, as a nurse, like, if you don't know something, or you don't know what this medication does, like, you just be honest. Like, I don't know, I'll look it up, but I will come back and I will answer your question. And so, and like, if you don't know me, I am a question asker. Like, my little girl just did her first season of competitive dance, and I swear I was texting her, I'm like, so this is what we're supposed to wear, right? Like, just constantly like asking those questions, and just like, I don't know it all, and like, I am not afraid to say that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask.
Yep.
But anyway, I've just been told over and over in like the 6 years that I've been doing the store, like, how real you are
Yeah.
is like, and you're so relatable, and like, you don't act like you're perfect. Like, you don't have it all together. You are a scatterbrain. And you know what? I am. Like, I will gladly admit that. Like, squirrel, like, I'm over here, I'm over there. But yeah, just people want to, like, they want to feel that connection, but they also want to relate to you. And that was so big with COVID. Like, even like, we ship orders out, but they're like sitting at home, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're drinking a White Claw and you're going live. I'm like, yes, I am, because I'm stressed out. Like, I have all this inventory, I'm trying to work, I have my kids, like, something's gotta give. Like, like, I have no problem saying that, doing, like,
Yeah.
just kind of being myself.
I think that's the
So
thing is there's like an epidemic of loneliness in the world today, right? Where people are at
yeah,
home, even if people are out in the world and they have a career and they seem like they have it all together, at the end of the day, the majority of people go home and they're lonely. And I think that's
Yes.
why Facebook Lives took off like they did. And granted, there's ups
Mhm.
and downs of that season, but I think
Yes.
that's what makes businesses like yours work is because you help people overcome the loneliness. You bring them in. People don't remember what they bought from you. They remember the way you made them feel, and that's why they continue to
Yes.
go back.
That's 100%. Like, we'll have customers and, I'm always like, just stop in and say, hey, like, whatever. If you're down the street, like, stop in. So, like, just yesterday, someone stopped in, an older lady. She's probably in her 60s. She's like, oh, I just wanted to stop in and say hey and see the store. I'm not going to buy anything today. But
Oh,
just like that conversation,
yeah.
just like that friend, you know?
So in that process, I'm curious your thoughts on this. When you're so authentic and people are drawn to you and they want to come into the store to see you, there can be a pull or a tug at you to say, okay, I've got to be on the floor all the time because my customers want to see me. But then okay, entrepreneur side of your brain, right? And then CEO side of your brain says, but Erica, that is not how we can grow a sustainable business. You have to actually do the behind the scenes work, which is not so
Mhm.
front facing and glamorous. Tell me
Yeah.
about where you're at in that journey of letting go of some of those things as well.
So that is honestly the biggest, like I have goosebumps talking about it because it honestly is my biggest struggle. Like, I'm not a control freak, but I always say, like, Styles by Erica is my third baby, and it's like mama bear's coming out. Like, if my customer walks in the door and you don't greet them and you don't ask what they're shop, like, what are you doing? Why am I paying you? So like that control of me in the store, it's honestly holding us back in the online world. So
Yeah.
um, because I can't be live because I'm too worried about who's coming in, or I can't go to the warehouse and do those style videos or whatever it is. So it's a work in progress. Like, I'm not perfect and I'm trying. Like, right now, my cameras are going off and it's not tempting me to, like, who's in the store right now, whatever. But I am trying so hard to hire the staff, which I have. Like, we are fully staffed right now. And so I'm like, this is my time to not be in the store
Yeah.
because we're kind of at like a plateau right now. I would say we're like 70-30, 70% in store, 30% online.
Yeah.
And I would like that online to be higher, but I do realize I can't if I'm not changing, I'm not growing, I'm not doing things differently.
Yeah.
So, yes, I am working hard to like have the 10 to 6 every day scheduled out in the store so I can go do something else.
Yeah.
Make the reels, do the lives, although lives are kind of weird right now, but still, like, even just style videos, like, people love those
Yeah.
that I do.
Yeah.
So yes, I am working hard on that because it's true. Like, you can't grow if you're constantly, you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing, you're doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah. And I am so proud that you are talking about this and just saying like, hey, here's where I'm at and here's my struggle, because I think a lot of people relate to that. That's their struggle too. And also, I believe there's a big misconception of like, hey, if I have a successful storefront, let's just open an online business and it'll take off. But
Not true.
yeah, what you're living through and
No.
finding out right now is I have to put the
Mhm.
same energy that I bring to my storefront to my online content, driving traffic to
Yes.
the website every single day.
Yep.
That's a different
Yep.
beast. Talk to me about like what else are you doing to make that shift happen?
Oh man. So I'm actually struggling with like I have boutique friends, right? And I feel like they get all these girls who want to do social media. And my girls are like, "You want me to do a style video? No, I'm not doing that. You want me to go live? No." So like my struggle is finding staff to like help, because
Yeah.
it's like me every day. Like, the burnout is real,
Yeah.
right? Like, if I'm every day having to do style videos or go live, it's like, crap, I can't talk by the end of the week. And I'm a talker. Like, I can talk to the wall for real.
I know this.
So
Yes.
it's like, um, yeah, like, I don't know. So I wish, I hope I could eventually one day find a staff who would like to kind of help with the online, but for now it's me. I mean, I do have one girl who and it's great because she's older than me, like, she's a mom, so she kind of markets to those, like, that group of lady. They're like, it's so funny, if I put on a shirt and do a video, nobody, like, that group won't touch it, but if she does, they're like, oh my gosh, she wore it, so I can wear it, so then they'll buy it.
Exactly.
So it's like I'm trying to pool, different age groups or like even different body types. Like,
Yes.
you know. people, that's how, people see. So
Yeah, that's a huge nugget right there. If you haven't mastered that and you're listening, huge nugget is that
mm,
different ages, different bodies go a long way. And you'll sell what you show. You've got to show more and more every single day. It can't just be like, oh, here's a pretty picture of my storefront. Come in. And then also shop online. Nope. You have to show every
no,
single product online all the time for people to
all the
see it
time.
and get excited about it.
And I have had, honestly, like, I know in the boutique hub, it's like there's always talk like restyle, reshoot,
Yeah.
re this, re that. And so, like, I kind of got into some ordering trouble, and we can talk about that if we get into inventory in this
Sure.
conversation. Oh, like 2 summers ago. And so I was like, guys, like, we have got to move this product. Like,
Yeah.
we have to do something to move it. So it's so funny. This actually happened. So we had some like summer dresses from last year, and they're very like youthful dresses, like the open back, the this, and they're $80. So it's like my 30 and 40 and 50-year olds who have the money to buy this $80 dress can't, aren't going to buy it. But I got these high school girls in working for me. And so I'm like, guys, you are doing a photo shoot. Here's a photo release. Take it home to your parents. This is part of the job. Like, whatever. You have to be in pictures because, like, this body can't be in everything. So, anyway, real story. I got my high school girls in these dresses from last summer. And one of my new employees was like, oh my gosh, well, I saw so and so on Instagram had that dress on and she bought it. It's like that dress has sat here for a year, but until it was on a 16-year-old body,
Yep.
she had no interest in it. I put it on, the 20-year-old put it on. Nope. But when the 16-year-old had it on in the photo shoot,
Yeah.
it sparked her to buy it.
That's
It's
so
insane.
good. It's so good.
It's insane.
I'm so glad you're talking about this because I think that this is my personal opinion. Everybody, please don't throw tomatoes at me, but I think that apparel retailers, more than home and gift retailers, are chronic overbuyers. Like we all are shopping addicts, and that can be great sometimes, but that can be real bad sometimes. And so rather than slow down and take the time to do what you just said, like we talk about restyle, reshoot, repost, like get a different
Huge.
body, ask yourself with your aging report every week, why is this not selling? How can I reshow it and make it look new? Or is it a dog? You got to decide, when is it a dog? And then go for it. And look, that is exactly what you're saying. Tell me more about the inventory trouble you got in and how else did you solve it?
Like, I could cry thinking about it. And like, thank the Lord for the Boutique Hub Exchange group because, like, no, seriously, it was so bad. So it was like 2 summers ago. Um, like I did a ton of business with She and Sky, and I love She and Sky. I can't remember the main girl I was working with. I ran into her at market a couple months ago, and she's like, "Where did you go?" I'm like, "I freaking overbought so bad, like it was terrible. Like I can't do that anymore. Like stop FaceTime calling me to order inventory." But no, like so 2 summers ago, like I said, doing ton of business with She and Sky.
Yeah.
We were doing these FaceTime calls and they were showing me things and I was like, "Oh yeah, add that. Oh, you have that in 5 colors? Add that, add that." And like they're ringing me up at the end and she's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can sell that. Add it." I remember this was 2 summers ago, July. I got like $18,000 worth of She and Sky, like summer things. And I'm like,
In July?
now
In South
in
Dakota.
July,
Oh,
in July.
girl.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, at the time, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great. Like, put this on, put this on, put this on." And we sat on that inventory like for almost 2 years. It was terrible, terrible. It's like now, like Styles by Erica 2024 is like, no, July, like you need to be releasing coats and like and things like this. And $18,000 on that stuff,
Yeah.
like that should be happening in May. Like, so I got like I was in huge and I'm like looking at the bank, I'm like, why do I have no money? Like, where's all my money? Like I did blah 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 in sales like this month, this year. Like, where's the money?
Yeah.
Like it's sitting in your basement in freaking summer dresses in December. Like, what are you doing? So yeah, I can totally vouch to that if that's the right word. Uh, like I have really calmed down on my inventory. And like I said, we're restyling things, we're reshooting. Like if something looks too youthful, we're like, hey, put a t-shirt under that.
Yeah.
Like, market it to somebody else who don't want their arms to show, or to the girls that have a concert but can't have their shoulders, or whatever it is. So I've gotten a lot better at buying.
It's so good because
But I
after
feel like I
spending
had
your
to go through that to know.
Have you ever wondered if someone else in business is going through the exact same thing you are right now? Whether it's an obstacle to overcome or a new opportunity you aren't sure if you should pursue or not, or maybe just some of those same questions about, man, am I really getting the most out of my inventory or my Facebook ads or my team? How can I do business just a little bit better and enjoy life just a little bit more? Well, those are a lot of the questions that we answer on a day-to-day basis inside of our community at the Boutique Hub. If you're listening and you aren't yet a member of our community, I want to invite you to join us. We have 14 different niche Facebook groups to connect you with store owners at the same level and just like you, no matter what you sell. Home and gift, apparel, children's specialty, we've got groups for all of that. Plus, we want to get you up to date with the latest training, the latest information and strategy on what's working right now in our industry with our weekly education plus our maxed out training library. We also have hundreds and hundreds of vetted, amazing wholesale brands who have been proven to do business in boutiques. We don't like trademark infringement. We don't like brands with poor customer service. We handpick the best of the best. And the best of the best love working with Boutique Hub members as well. So they offer numerous discounts and free shipping, whether it's at market, inside of our groups, or on our own wholesale platform, hubventory.com, with thousands of dollars in savings just for Boutique Hub members. So if you aren't yet a member, we'd love to invite you to join us at theboutiquehub.com/join to be a part of our community on a daily basis. I can't wait to see you inside, and I can't wait to see you connect with amazing business owners who are serious about their business, just like you. And everybody does. You're not alone in that. Everyone has those mistakes where you're like, if you're not winning, you're learning. But for you specifically, you have a really big space. So you figuring out how to best utilize that space and not let things get too stale, because you could chronically overbuy in a space you're big or as big as yours, and really like it could be the end. So good for you for figuring that out. I also want to talk about something really creative that you're doing with your space right now, especially because you're in a small town that's a ways away from anything, is you have started to dabble in prom. And I say dabble because this is your first year doing this, and this is a big investment to get into this arena. So I'm just going to forewarn everyone, this is not for everyone, but this is an opportunity. So I would love to know, like, pros, cons, good, bad, what's working and what are you learning by entering the prom experiment?
Yes. So, wow. First of all, like if I ever acted like some of these girls, my grandma would have like backhanded me. Some of these girls in the store with their mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if Avery and Emery ever act like that, like it's over. You are not getting a $600 prom dress. No way. No, but good experiences, bad experience. It has been so much fun. So much fun. And so, okay, we're in South Dakota, right? It is freaking cold in January.
Yeah.
Like it can be -30, it can be -50. Like it's taken me, I've been here now for like 11 years. Like I'm a California girl. Like we wore Ugg boots in high school in January. It was like 40 and we had our Ugg boots on. Like it's nothing about like you need like 8 pairs of Ugg boots out here. Like it's insane. But so January over the years, like looking at numbers, like January and February is freaking awful. I don't know. I know a lot of people say that, but when it's like a whiteout blizzard and it's -30, nobody is coming into your store. Literally nobody is coming into your store. And last year I was so stressed out because I was still in that like inventory battle where I had overbought the summer before. Like I didn't have funds to get new and all these things. And I remember like my one girl, Holly, she's a mom. She like mopped the floor every day. She's like, I don't know what to do. Like nobody's coming in. I'm like, oh my God, me too. And like, you're freaking out, but I'm freaking out because I still have to pay you.
Yeah.
And if I tell you not to come in, you're going to quit. Like, what do we do? So anyway, I got this idea and I kind of threw it around with my staff. Let's sell prom dresses. Like prime prom season is like December-ish, January, February, right? Like I'll just order a bunch of dresses and we'll sell them. My staff hated it. No, do not. No, I don't want, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, well, it sucks to suck, but it doesn't matter what you want to do. Like, it's my store and we're going to do it. So, I reached out to one of my friends, Ashley Donnell. Hey, if you're listening, hi. Probably saying her last name wrong. Cause she was like in the bridal world for a long time.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what, Erica, I'm just going to warn you, like, it's a beast.
Yeah.
Like, these dresses are expensive and, you know, you can't have like one size two. You need like 20 size twos if you're in whatever. So I made a very, very, very last minute decision. I'm doing prom in like, I think it was like September or October maybe. And, yeah, I honestly say it was the best decision I made to this day because like Ashley said, the closest prom shop is like over an hour away.
Yeah.
So they're like, and that's in like probably a 70-mile radius.
Yeah.
And so I quick Googled like what are the top, because I wanted like the designer brands. And then I did some like LA brands that were, I mean, everyone, like not everyone can afford a Sherry Hill prom dress. Like you're talking like $700, $800, $900 dress. And so I made sure I had like a budget for everybody. And we ordered the dresses and here they come. And we started advertising in like when they came in, we did reels and you'll have to look at my Facebook and Instagram because they went crazy. But it was insane. Like we had girls driving from like 2 hours away
Oh man.
to come buy a prom dress. And like it gives me chills talking about it because like I'm like if anything ever went right in my life, it was that business decision. And it was like it was hard because it was very expensive. Um but totally worth it, like running the numbers and I'm like, oh yeah, like I want more. Like now I want my own prom store, which I'm not gonna do. But like it's that in my brain.
Erica, I love that they are like coming in from all different towns. Such a small town thing, and I can so appreciate that.
Yeah.
There was not a prom store in my small town, so you're having a huge service for so many others. What are other things that you've tested, like little things that have worked or that haven't worked along the way as you've been testing this out?
I would say what I will change next year is so for example, this was so new, none of us knew what we were doing. And so we strictly made prom by appointment only. So like I had a prom book and I wrote down all the appointments, the times. We were
Mhm.
giving like an hour for every prom appointment. And
Yeah.
we have like three huge dressing rooms upstairs. And as January started, I would get texts like, hey, I just need to cancel my appointment because I got my dress somewhere else. And I'm like, no, oh my gosh, no. So uh, and like I said, we didn't know what we were doing. So we actually ended up displaying all of the prom dresses upstairs because, hey, your grandma walks in and you live in Sioux Falls and she's like, hey, I was in this boutique in Yankton and they have prom. They're really cute. You should go check them out. So,
Yeah.
right, with all the money invested, like we need these on display in the windows. Everybody needs to see we have prom. And so, in my opinion, making it by strictly only by appointment, I will not do that next year. Um, so what we ended up doing was since they were all on the floor and I had staff there, I was making Facebook announcements, all the notifications like, hey, here's the deal. You can make a prom appointment. You will get that dedicated one-on-one time, but we're also going to offer walk-ins. So, hey, girls, if you are walking in, just know it might be like you might have to wait for a dressing room,
Yeah.
but you can go through, scope out the dresses, pull some that you want, and then when it's your turn, we'll get you in a dressing room. So I would say the biggest and then I got to thinking like when I went to prom, like, oh my God, probably 13 or 14 years ago, like in California, you could walk into a prom store. They didn't make you have an appointment. Like, so here, like the business owner side of me is like, I've invested X amount of dollars. Like I want every body, literal body through this door who wants a prom dress at their convenience too. Like there's moms like me who are just all over. Like, I don't know, like tomorrow at 2 works better. to go try on a prom dress. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that different next year. And obviously, like the growing pains is like, I only, right? Because my buying problem a couple years ago, like I gave myself a certain dollar limit. Like you could only invest this amount of money in prom because I still have my other, like I have my market orders coming in January. Like, I have other finances, bills. And so I gave myself a limit um, to order. And so next year I'll be able to grow. Like, I didn't have so many options in a size 14, which hurt because, there were some girls that came in and I only had like four options versus like the size zero, I had like 20,
Yeah.
and so that was kind of a con too. But again, I only had a certain amount of money that I could invest and I was not going to go over that limit and end up in trouble like
Yeah.
I had before.
Well, and
But
you'll have data. You'll have data next year, I think, which is most helpful, right? Like you'll know your sales by size. You'll know what people were looking for, what colors sold, what brands sold. It's going to make it so
yes,
much easier next year in that regard.
yes, yeah. So I'm actually super excited. I'm going to go to the Atlanta market and like
Yeah.
visit prom and like
So
kind
good.
of like talk, and get to know people. It was such a last minute decision that I was
Yeah.
literally emailing and phone calling like, "Hey, can I be a Sherry Hill retailer? Hey, can I do this? Can I do that?" Um, I had something else on the tip of my tongue, and what was it? Oh my
Well,
gosh.
while you are thinking of the thing, I just want to like hit on what you just said. For anyone who doesn't know, Atlanta is the biggest prom market. Their
Yes.
April show, April in Atlanta, is the biggest prom market in the country. So if you're thinking about this, that's a show you want to go to. And really, it's a great place to collaborate and to learn and to meet these reps. And I think reps in the prom industry are just so important because you could talk about what other add-ons and upsells and what are other prom stores doing to be successful. I think the opportunity to collaborate, I'll never forget this, Erica. When I was in high school, my mom would never buy me a brand new prom dress. Like it always had to be like secondhand or like cheap or, I mean, we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah,
So one
yeah.
time my mom was out of town and my dad took me to a prom show and they had like a drawing. I won the grand prize drawing. So
A
I
free
got this,
drink?
I got free dress.
Oh
And
my
then
god.
it was a package. I got free tanning. Do kids even tan anymore? Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
they do. They
They
do.
do?
Trust
Okay.
me.
I
They
mean, you
do.
had the, like the Playboy bunny and the whole deal.
At
I got
least
my
here
hair
in
done for free. Yeah, right. In the Midwest, you have to do things. But all these things that I got to do for free, which I was like, oh, so when I think about you and the opportunity to collaborate with others who are salons and do tanning and do
Yeah,
nails and you doing add-ons and upsells and accessories and jackets, because we all know you need jackets in the Midwest.
yeah,
And whoever's doing tux rentals in your area, or if you're doing tux rentals, like there's opportunities to work with so many other small businesses in this space, which I think is huge.
yeah. No, you're exactly right. And like again, I relate everything to being born and raised in California because I was not born and raised here. Like my graduating class had like 758,000 people, like not 100. It's just like it's like things that I'm also learning too. But yeah, like these girls are willing to drive hours, and a lot of the parents are willing to spend money, which is insane. Like $900 on a prom dress. What is your wedding dress going to be? But they do it, And so, yes, I'm hoping to get started a little bit earlier this
Yeah.
year, like this summer, and try to collaborate with different groups and different avenues and other things like that. I will say, um, doing the prom in my store like also helped our retail sales. Like,
Ah,
the moms and the grandmas shopped like my boutique clothing while they're whoever shopped a prom dress. And
yeah.
so I'm a very what do you call it? Like aesthetically pleasing person. Like I'm kind of bougie that way a little bit. And I was really worried with prom. Like it just looks cluttery and it looks gross. And like there's like these gorgeous prom dresses and then like boutique clothes. Like to me personally, I was like, ew. But nobody cared. And
Yeah.
everybody else got to shop too. Like moms were buying jeans and a sweater and a bra and, like boots and all these things along with a prom dress. So yeah, that was very helpful.
Ah, so good to know. So many
Yeah.
lessons. We're going to have to
Yeah.
come back to this conversation a year from now and go, okay, now
Yeah.
what? Now what'd you learn next? Or at least have this conversation more in the hub, because I know there's others who would love it as well. So
Yeah. I would love to, seriously.
we will definitely do that. Erica, this has been so awesome today. We've covered a lot of ground. I've got to end with this question because that's the most important question.
Oh boy.
And it is
Oh
that,
boy.
yeah, buckle up. So you can sell prom dresses all you want. You can sell whatever you want in your business, all the trinkets, all the things, all you want. But at the end of the day, just like being a hospice nurse, there's so much more to what you're doing than just the products that you're selling.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm so curious, if you fast forward, 20, 30 years from now, and you're on the front porch, you're with your family, you're with your friends, you're with your grandkids, you're reflecting back on this life that you've lived, moving from California to South Dakota, and the journey you've been on and the people that have been in your path. What's the thing you really want people to remember most about who you are and the life that you lived?
I would hope that I'm going to be remembered by like my bubbly, personality and just like loving. Like, let's just all have a great time. Let's like no drama, just like be happy and live. Like, especially
Yeah.
being a hospice nurse, like you really see how short and how fragile life is, like you
Yeah.
take care of a baby on hospice, a 30-year-old, a 90-year-old, like it is just so short and precious. And it's like, I tell people when they come into the store, I can't wear this. I'm 50. I'm like, who cares? If you like it, wear it. Like, why does age matter? Why does, or you can't wear that because your boobs are showing. You know what? I have boobs and that's just life. Or like you have this, or somebody the other day was like, my bunion's showing. I'm like, who cares? Wear it. You know what I mean? And so that's just that is a big part of my life. Like even parenting into my kids, like, my girls are getting to the age where they're exploring and they want to wear mascara. And I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Like life is so short and you just like, you look back on and it's like, you would just hate, or like when you're dieting, like I can't eat the cookie because it's not into my macros. And it's like, you know what? If you die tomorrow, I hope you would eat that cookie. You know what I mean? Like just live life.
Yeah. I'm going to eat these cookies.
Eat your cookies. That was so cute, by the way. I'm going to share that story with my girls.
Oh my gosh. Well, Erica, it wraps all the way back to the very first question we talked about with you, which was just like you living life to the fullest and the authenticity of who you are and what a blessing that is.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound morbid, but girl, you've been there. Like, I think that death creates so much life.
It does.
And that's the product of who you are and your give back to the world is what you're saying, is the life that you're able to share with others.
Yeah.
Yes. This is so good. I'm so glad you're here. For those of you who saw the cookie reference, Erica and I were recording and my daughter walked in who's sick from school today and she brought me a little package of cookies she just made. Adorable. And it says, for a long day of podcasts, love Hadley. So I'm going to eat the cookie.
Yes. Eat the cookie.
Yeah. Erica, again, thanks for being here today. Thanks for being a part of our community at the Hub, the light that you are, and the light that you are in your local community. Yankton is so lucky to have you. So thanks for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you took away all kinds of nuggets and new ideas from this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and review. We love to hear your feedback and give you a chance to be featured on the show each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and to access guest downloads and bonuses and all the resources we talked about on the show, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.